How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and in today's video, I'll be ranking every single Party City Halloween 2022 animatronic from worst to best. I believe we have about 9 or 10 props to look at today, and I will be ranking each of them from worst to best. Now, just a few rules before we get into it. I will not be including the Creep from Creepshow on this list because I really feel that it's very important that I actually see the property he's licensed from, which is Creepshow, and I have not seen that movie, and I haven't seen the movie or the TV show, unfortunately, and I really feel like a lot of that prop is based off of me liking whether I like the movie or not, so I will eventually get to watch that film, but for now, I will just be keeping him off this list, but he is still a really accurate recreation of the actual Creep from Creepshow, so that I have to commend a lot on SVI's part there. But anyways, with all that, there will be again about 9 or 10 props. So I guess without any more hesitation, let's jump right into it. Remember, we're doing this from worst to best. Coming in last place on our list are the Ghost and Skeleton Trick-or-Treaters. To be honest, for Party City this year, there's not a single prop I don't like, it's just there are some that I like more than others. I really don't think this duo is bad at all, in fact I quite like them, but I just really think everything that I list above them here is just superior to these props. And if I'm being honest, the kid-friendly stuff really isn't my forte. I know it is for a lot of people who would prefer to have kid-friendly Halloween animatronics, but personally for me, I prefer the more scarier stuff, especially from Party City this year. Now, I do have to say, I like these both a lot, even though they are last place. I think the design of each of them is cool, and I especially love how each of their pumpkin pails light up. I think that is a really cool thing. I think their phrases are pretty cheesy though, which of course isn't the worst thing, especially because it's a kid prop. And I'm going to be honest, their voices, I'm pretty sure the skeleton sounds exactly like Bart Simpson, and the ghost sounds like Rudolph a little bit. So, I mean, it's kind of goofy and cheesy, the phrases, but again, it's a kid prop. That's what I expect anyways. So overall, it's not that I don't like them, it's just that they are not my forte, once again. But overall, they are still really cool, and the only reason why they're last place in the list is just because, again, I like the scarier stuff better. Coming in at 9th place is the Stakeable Ice Cream Clown, standing at over 7 feet tall, which is gigantic for a Stakeable prop. But anyways, I'm going to be honest, I like this guy quite a bit, but unfortunately he is a static prop. I was really hoping to see some animation with the tongue at least here, and we just did not get that, so it is completely static, which is a little bit disappointing if I'm being honest, but I still really like the design, especially the face. Here's a close-up. You could just really see how much detail was put into this thing. I also do like, again, how the ice cream is a skull. I think that is such a cool detail too, and this one's a little bit harder to place on this list because we haven't completely seen the entire prop yet, because he does have phrases, apparently, or sound effects, as that was listed on Party City's website before the listings for all the animatronics got taken down, unfortunately. But it's just kind of hard. So I really can't give my entire opinion on him, but I do have a good feeling he's going to stay right here on the list, because, again, he is pretty simple, and I just wish we could have seen some animation from the tongue. I think he may have been a spot higher. I might have switched him out with the next prop, but still, I really do like the way this guy looks a lot, especially that ice cream cone. Coming in at 8th place is the Zombie Trick-or-Treater Boy. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering why I'm putting this so low, but at this point, these are the props I adore. Every single one of these going forward is something I really, really love. I consider to be the best props of the year for sure. I really, really love Party City's lineup this year so much. So here is the Zombie Trick-or-Treater Boy coming in at 8th place. The only reason why I'm putting him this low is because, again, he's very similar to Limb-Eating Zombie Boy, of course, which I feel like it comes a little bit too close to being too similar to him, but obviously the animation is completely different here, which was something I was not expecting when we got the first photos leaked. This guy being a jump scare prop was definitely something that caught me off guard the first time I saw his video, because I just really was not expecting him to be a jump scare prop. Now, I'm not sure if this was the right prop to make into a jump scare prop, just because of how short I'm sure the kid is. I'm pretty sure he's going to be no taller than about 3 or 4 feet, maybe 4 if we're really lucky, but I really can't see him being more than 3 feet tall, which, again, that's going to be difficult to scare somebody, especially that he's not looking up. He's still looking directly straight forward when he does the jump scare. Maybe if his head tilted up to be looking up at somebody who's standing over him, I feel like that could have been a little bit better for a jump scare. So the reason why he's going this low is just because of his jump scare animation. Again, I do like how he is a jump scare prop. I think that's very unique for a prop like this, but I'm just not too sure on how good the jump scare will be in practicality. But anyways, I still love the design. I still love how much gore he has on him, especially. Man, they did such a good job this year delivering on the goriness of the props when no one else was doing it, so props to you, Party City. But anyways, that is pretty much it for the Trick-or-Treater Zombie Boy. Awesome prop. I'm just not too sure about the jump scare. Coming in at 7th place on the list is the Chained Possessed Woman. Now, I know there are going to be a ton of people who are really mad at me for putting this low on the list, but again, I love every prop this year so much. There, again, are just some that I like better than others. Now, the single only reason that she's getting put this low is just because I feel like her animation is a little bit too lackluster, and I really think there could have been something a little bit more going on here. I think the rising animation should have been in a jump scare fashion as she's chained to the ground, so it makes it look like she's gonna escape almost. I guess that'd be the way to put it. But I really do think a jump scare animation could have been really cool here, except we get this slow rise up and then she starts shaking for a few seconds, then lowers again. So I just feel like it's just a little bit too lackluster for me to really put too high on the list. I think the design is incredible. I love how she actually has blood on her as well. Even though there's really no reason for her to have blood on her, it's still there, which I love, which just makes it more scary in my opinion. It is creepy. It is very creepy. I will give it that. But I really think the animation just could have been a little bit better here. And I definitely would have put it up higher on the list if that was the case. But unfortunately, it's just a little bit too boring for my tastes. But still a really awesome prop. Now I know this is going to be another controversial opinion, putting the PopUp Popcorn Clown at 6th place, but there's so many things I love about this guy, but again, I just really think the things I put above it, I just like them more. I know this is a really good prop though, and I do appreciate this prop a lot. I think it is a really cool, neat concept that has finally been done, because I feel like it has just been a no-brainer to do something like this for a while now, and finally SVI has delivered. So this is obviously a popcorn machine that has a clown popping out of it. I think the jump scare is very effective here, and I do like the clown, how he has mouth animation too. That was really not something they needed to throw in, but it is a very nice touch in my opinion, and definitely helps with the immersion of this prop for sure. I really do like the mouth animation on the clown's face. The clown's face is a little bit generic in my opinion. I think it could have been a little bit more detailed, but to be honest, the look of the clown really isn't what makes this prop so good. It is the jump scare, and boy, is that a very good jump scare. I do like how you have to press the button for the clown to come out too, which I think is another really good idea. So people will be going up thinking they'll be getting some popcorn just to have a clown jump scare them. My only complaint really is how plasticky the popcorn looks. I don't think it's very convincing, and it might be convincing from far away, but once you get up close to actually push the button, it just does not look that all too convincing in my opinion. And I feel like that's going to ruin the scare for some people for sure, but I still think it will be very good at getting a lot of people. So overall, I think he is a great prop. Just those two little problems I have with, he looks a little bit generic, and the plasticky look of the popcorn really just make this prop where it is on my list, but still a really awesome prop overall. I know I'm going to be hated for putting the raccoon at 4th place. That's right, the numbers are back on track. I'll explain why they were all messed up at the end of the video. But at 4th place is the Raccoon Zombie. Now, I know, again, there are going to be a ton of people that hate me for putting this before the Popcorn Clown. And while I will agree with all you, I know what you're thinking, well, the jump scare is not as good. Yes, I do agree with that. This prop, I think, has a cooler design, and if I'm being honest, for no reason at all, this thing gives me so much nostalgia. Now, I really think that's because of how old it feels. Like, if I'm making sense there, this feels like a techie prop you would see back in 2012, 2013, and it just feels, it has this retro Halloween animatronic vibe to me, like stuff you'd see at Spirit way back in the day, especially with all the jumping animals that Tekky used to have. This feels ripped right from that, so that is why I just really love this thing. I know this is not the most popular prop from Party City this year, and I know that, again, there are going to be so many people who hate me for putting this at 4th, but just in my opinion, I think the design is great. I think the trash can looks somewhat realistic, and I think the jump scare also works pretty well here. Very similar to Man's Possessed Friend, that one always manages to get me still, even though I know exactly what it does. It just comes out so fast. Same with the raccoon here. I think it's going to be a great jump scare prop that will probably sell probably well, if I'm being honest. So I still just love this one, and it really, I think it is just cool. I love the bloodiness of it, and I really do know that there are going to be people who hate me, but hey, I'm a fan of this prop. It's just my opinion. Coming in at third on the list is the brand new 12 or 10 foot clown. I honestly forget, and unfortunately, again, the listings were taken down, so I don't know if this guy is 12 or 10 feet tall, but regardless, this is still one awesome clown animatronic. Now, there are a few problems I have with it, but for the most part, it is just one really damn gigantic and awesome animatronic. I think you really have to see this thing in person to get a full feel for how gigantic it just is, but just the head alone has to be a solid 3 feet long, I guess you could say, but still just such a cool animatronic. I love the face. I love how the face lights up too. I love how the nose glows, and so do the eyes, and just for the most part, it is just such a awesome prop. And the really only big problem with it is that it's $500, but considering it is a 12-foot prop that has animation, which you don't see from any of the other 12-feet props, that is something so cool, and I just kind of have to accept that that's I wouldn't say fair, but I would say it is a price I think we were all expecting. Now, I think $450 could have been a little bit more serviceable for the prop, but for the most part, it is still so awesome, and I just cannot wait to see this thing in person and just witness how gigantic it just is. I think we're all going to be blown away by how huge this guy is. So that is it for the 12, or again, I don't know if it's 12 or 10 feet tall, brand new clown. Coming in second on our list now is the brand new Lava Demon, standing at a whopping 7.5 feet tall. Now, I think this guy is freaking awesome. I love the detailing in the face. The sculpt is incredible. I love how he lights up. I love his gigantic claws. I also like the coloring on his coat, and I love how the fog comes out of his horns. Now, that might seem like a cartoony thing to a lot of you, but I think it is honestly a really cool feature and something very unique for a Halloween animatronic. I think his animation is a little bit lackluster, though. I wish he had sort of a constant motion movement where he wouldn't stop when he makes a little turn like that. I think just a continuous turning motion where he just turns back and forth and moves his head back and forth would have been a little bit better, but I still think it's cool, and just with this height and the amount of detailing it has, I just really have to kind of look past that. I think his tail is also such a unique feature. We really don't see that on many props, and I just think he is just overall a really awesome prop. The only thing I have kind of a problem with are his phrases. I really think they're kind of cheesy, and I was really hoping for some really menacing phrases from him, but they're just a little bit too cheesy for my taste, but still, I have to look past that for how awesome this dude looks. There's so much awesome about him, and I just really love it. Now, he is $280, which I think is a bit pricey, but I think he might come included with the fog machine. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me. But unlike Spirit, I know other companies do throw in a fog machine with the props that use fog, but again, I'm not 100% sure on that fact. I think $280 is a little bit steep for him, and especially if he comes without a fog machine, I think something more like $230 to $250 would be a little bit more in line, especially with the rest of Party City's prices this year. I know I haven't been saying this about a lot of the props, but from the price tags I can remember on most of them, they are all relatively cheap, basically the opposite of what we've been seeing at Spirit Halloween this year. So overall, I think this demon dude, again, I got really off track here. Anyways, this Lava Demon is such a awesome and cool prop. I love it so much. Coming in at first place, to no one's surprise if you've been paying attention or watched any of my other videos on Party City's lineup this year, the Torture Box Woman. I think this is the best prop from Party City this year, and after seeing Spirit's lineup, Lowe's lineup, and Home Depot's lineup, I think it's safe to say that this is the best prop of the year, in my opinion. I love this thing so much. I just am blown away by the amount of gore this prop has. We have not seen anything like this in a solid 4 years now, maybe even longer than that. and I am just so happy Party City is finally delivered on everyone in the haunt community's wishes to add gore back to props. Party City has delivered this year with, personally, one of the scariest props we've seen in a long time, in my opinion. I think this one is just terrifying. It is weird, it is scary, and it is a brutal prop. I love the amount of blood on it once again, but the other details, like her face being that detailed, even though you can't even see it that much through the box, which is a little bit of an issue, but I do think you could see it enough to where you could definitely see how awesome it looks. And something I did not expect at all was it has mouth animation, or I guess not quite mouth animation. She kind of just shakes her head inside the box back and forth. So that is a surprise to me, and I'm really happy that it is an actual head and not just a picture basically printed or painted onto the front of the box. And also it does light up to the box, which is another awesome feature. This thing is going to look awesome at night. The electrocution sounds sound so cool, and just everything about this prop I adore. The face, once again, is terrifying. If you look at that, it is so bloody, it is brutal, it is gory. I just love this prop so much. The animation also is fantastic. Once again, I didn't really mention the rest of her animation besides her head rocking, but just the wild, frantic shaking from her looks so realistic and so good. I think Party City and Tekky absolutely nailed it with this one, and it's one I'm hoping to get this year, but we'll see. I'm not really planning on getting any animatronics this year, but if a company like Party City is willing to send me some props to review for you guys, I will absolutely review this one for you guys without a doubt, and probably any other prop they send me. Hey, I'm open to getting free stuff. But anyways, that is going to be it for the Torture Box Woman. 100% one of my favorite prompts this year. And if I'm being honest, she might come in my top 10 favorite prompts of all time list. But I don't know quite yet. I just want to see her in person and stuff, and really get to feel how big she is in person as well. So overall, once again, such an incredible prop. Definitely deserves the #1 spot on my list. Well, alright everyone, that's going to do it for my ranking of the Party City Halloween 2022 lineup, but as promised, I will explain why the numbers have been off for a majority of this video. So, I counted 10 animatronics, and I was correct on that. Well, there's technically 11 this year, but I accidentally left one out, which unfortunately came in the beginning of the list, which is my least favorite this year. I still like it though, being the Fogging Clown. I mean, technically it's not an animatronic since it is a static, and it's too small to really consider a prop, more of like a decoration, I would say. So I guess it makes sense for me not to include him on this list, but he would have been at 10th place if I hadn't forgot to include him. If I really wanted to go back and fix all of it, it would basically take me remaking the entire video, which I already had halfway done at that point. So I hope this list sufficed, guys, and I'm sorry for that little mess up there. But anyways, once again, that is it for my ranking of the Party City Halloween 2022 lineup. Again, I love every prop this year, and I'm really, really excited for people to start getting these, and I'm really looking forward to seeing them in person, of course. So let me know what you guys think of the lineup and how you would rank them in the comments below. And with all that, everybody, as always, this is the Pixelated Pumpkin signing out. And just want to say one last time, Party City absolutely killed it this year.